hello dear friends. We are looking at Daphne's diary number 8 of 2024. This is the Christmas edition, and I thought as I'm flipping through some of these pages with you that I might show you what some of these projects look like when they work out. So I have prepared a few little bits and bobs, and I just need to make some space because, as you know, this magazine's quite tall. So it is a delightful edition. It's got lots and lots of ephemera opportunities in it, but I'm going to flip through fairly quickly so I can show you the projects. So this is the cover page. Sorry, just trying to make some space here. Make sure that you can see the whole thing. This is insert page. It gives you just the ideas of what's on the contents. And always lovely backgrounds. Just look at that lovely colour wall. I just love these distressed walls where you see layers and layers of history and you wonder who lived there at which time and how they perhaps celebrated Christmas and various things. I love Christmas wrapping in fabric. I did always find that that was probably sometimes less expensive than working with gift wrap, and certainly if you have somebody that sews, it could be just a lovely addition to their stash. They can have lovely strips of fabric here to be able to use in ephemera. Right, you've got these little birds which you can cut out. I have looked at these. I didn't make them up because I thought to myself that's quite a nice template to make these birds on card that's perhaps been covered in fabric, and they're fairly straightforward, so I thought we wouldn't spend time, but there are loads of them, and if you wanted them as decorations you could certainly make them up. Quite nice big images here that you use as focal points. Someone doing lovely pottery with sculpted effects, really delicious. Jams, pickles and preserves, always lovely. I used to love to do preserved figs back home in South Africa. They're quite a delicacy that we have with camembert or brie cheese, and we certainly loved a whole lot of pickles, from onions to olives and whatever you could think of. Actually, we had lovely produce that we could do. Sweet little illustration there. Right, you've got your lovely little sort of stickers or little washi tape that you could use, and loofah scrub. That's really easy to make. When I was teaching soap making in South Africa, we used to make a soap like that, where you've got the loofah on one side and the soap on the other, and they make lovely gifts. Magical sort of pottery here, very delicate, intricate work, but nevertheless very beautiful. Haven't been to Edinburgh, but it's on my bucket list to go there. When I showed my granddaughter this picture of the tree house, she said, I definitely don't want to live in a house up a tree. And I thought that was such a funny thing, because I would have thought that she would have jumped at the idea. These are little bands that you could use around a snack bar if you made those. You could use it around a jam jar, you could use it around a soap. Nice little feature that you could use. And then we have 2 pages of these images. You'll see that they have different patterns on both, and I did make one of those up. So I cut out the oval ones. These are designed to be little Christmas decorations that you would hang, but I also thought that they could be quite nice in a junk journal. So you could either do them like this, where you could fold the little pages over and have different things on each side, or if you wanted to, you would be able to cut around each of these shapes. There are lines there, but you hardly notice them, and you could use them in your junk journal just as something a little bit different to a normal shape that we would normally use. And here you'll see how they've actually used them on the actual Christmas tree, and they do look rather nice all hung up there. So you could use ribbon or string or bows, up to you. This is a nice little pocket just to have a little sprig of something in, and I think for ease I would have just done that in a double layer of felt, and maybe just cut a little slit so that I didn't have to do as much, but then the stitching would become part of the design. This is also an easy thing to do, just cutting up shapes out of cardboard tubes and making them into little snowflakes. Actually a lovely activity to do because the possibilities there are endless. Right, I did make up this little one, and I used some quite fine cotton that I have here, and I measured out a piece that was 12 by 6 centimeters, which is what they recommend, And then they have used in this particular example just a machine stitching going around the edge, just 1 centimeter in all round, which means that you have a finished piece that's 10 by 4 centimeters. But I thought it'd be quite nice, just for purposes of showing you on camera, that if you do it with a colored thread, and I just use some DMC embroidery cottons, that they stand out quite nicely, and then I just use baker's twine here to actually tie them. Quite nice if you could put this around your napkins. And then I used my little alphabet stamps, which you have individual letters and numbers, and I used StazOn ink so that if I needed to launder those at a later stage, I would be able to do so. So that was a fun project, and it didn't take long. It's something that's really nice. You could put people's names on them, or you could just do messages. And then, as we go through the magazine, you'll see there's quite a lot to do with Christmas decorations and Christmas gingerbread houses. I've bought a gingerbread kit to do with my granddaughter, and I think that will be quite fun. Baked apples, oh, I love those. Those are really nice. I had 2 pages of these, which they say are dinner place cards. So I cut them all out on the 1 page, and some of them I've left so that you could use them as a place card. They've got Merry Christmas on one side, and on the other side you could put the person's name. I've used a little bit of distressed ink, the vintage photo, just to ink around the edges to give them a slightly more vintagey feel. I just feel, compared to one that's not inked like that, well, let me show you the green on green. One that's not inked, you can actually see that it doesn't have the same kind of finish. So I did some of those as place cards, and you've got those where you could use the names. One of them I glued together because I thought that that could be quite a nice little tag for a journal, or you could put an eyelet through and have it as a tag for a gift. And then I've just done some of these where I've cut this whole folded area into 2 pieces. So I thought, well, these could be quite nice gifts for presents, so you could just put a message on the other side. So that gives you quite a few options there to have all of those from these pages. So this is just 1 page, and then you've got a 2nd page of all those designs, and I think that that is really lovely because Christmas tags aren't always big enough and we don't have enough space to write. Lovely licorice shops. I remember in Cape Town there used to be a shop at Cavendish Square that just sold licorice and sweets, and they sold all the Dutch licorice. Oh my word, it was just delicious. We could go there as kids and just choose a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and it was glorious. Okay, then as we flip through here, if you've been collecting the birthday calendars, then you've got another addition to your page. This is a little diorama where you can create a little scene. I haven't actually cut that one out. It's pretty straightforward. One's the outside of a house, the other one's the inside looking out. And then you come across to these tablecloths with all this cross-stitch embroidery, really beautiful, and you have these little cones that you can cut out. So if you cut these little cones out, you'll find that you're left with this kind of a shape. And I thought, for those of you that do junk journaling, it would be quite nice if you stuck those 2 sides down in a larger journal, and you could just tuck them things in there and make a nice little tuck spot. Or if you wanted to, you could use double-sided tape. And I don't ever have any fingernails because of gardening. And I've put some double-sided tape down here. If I peel these strips off, sorry, I just need to get the corner up and then I'm away. Yep. The corners don't play with you, then you've just got to really rub them down. There we go. So if I pull that down like that, there's one bit stuck under the other. Anyway, not too serious. And then I gently but carefully line up my edges here. You're actually left with a pretty nice little cone that you could either stick a napkin in, or what they've done in this particular example is that they've just glued a piece of fabric in here and filled it up with some little sweets, or you could put some potpourri in there, whatever you like. A few nuts from the side of the table. So it either is a little gift sachet, or it could actually be just for your napkins. And I remember making cones out of paper mache at one stage and selling them to a shop in Cape Town. And yeah, I did really well with those, strangely enough, but they worked. Right, so let's see what we've got going on further. It's actually got lots and lots of lovely things in here. I love these little sort of gnomes, they're called tomtes. You've got a lovely idea for a candle holder using an apple, and you've got lovely rose hip wreaths. We've got a rose bush at work that's got rose hips on, and I had tried to get some rose hips to be able to make this for you, but we had snow on Tuesday. Although it didn't last, it actually melted quite quickly because of the rain that we were having at the same time. But also it was so bitterly cold, I just actually couldn't go and stand outside to do that. This tape would be nice to do again with these little alphabet stamps, which have got individual letters. You would be able to stamp on there whatever you wished, and again try and use something like a stays-on ink where the ink is waterproof. These are lovely little nut crackers, and you can just pop them out. Again, you would be able to use them all together as a freeze on something. You could wrap it around a biscuit tin, or you might even just cut them out individually. So they are double-sided, which is really nice. Then we have this idea with the pods, and these pods that you have here are from poppies, and if you have a look at all these little holes underneath there, that's where all the little seeds come out, and it's quite magical when you do it because you just tap them and all the seeds come falling out. But I love this little curve to the head. It almost looks like a little halo of some sort, and they definitely do look like little faces. So without drawing any faces on, because I wasn't too mad about that, I actually took some nice sort of organza ribbon with this gold thread, and I cut a couple of lengths, and I have wrapped pipe cleaner around the stem. The pipe cleaner is more just to hold these little wings, and these are from a sycamore tree, so you might know them as the helicopter plants. These are the pods, and I just slid the little stick into the pipe cleaner there and laced up some of the little wings, and that's okay. These little wings, I know, as you can see, the one got damaged, but I can actually slide them out and put others in there, and they're just rather cute. I just thought they'd be fun on a table. And then I also have just done a very, very simple Christmas tree like that. Give me a second to collect it. Sorry, when I started the video I knew I'd forgotten it. So I've just got a little terracotta pot, and I have taken a pine cone that fits into the pot and just brushed a little bit of white paint on it, and then just taken a little star. I have made a little hole in the star so that if I wanted to I could actually put a bit of wire in and just glue that in, but that would be my little Christmas tree. And then obviously, as they have done around this one, you could quite happily take some gold pen of some sort and just decorate around the edge. So I'm just going to flip through the rest of the book with you. I'm not going to do any more examples, just I thought I'd give you a few to see. Painting leaves, painting acorns, and these wood slices. If you don't have a saw and you don't have the slices, you can actually buy them on Amazon. Upcoming orders. Oh, there was other thing. Look at this. So in the last couple of issues, they've given you this page which just says design your own stamps. And I have in the past cut out pictures and put them on. You could cut out those pictures and put them on, but I just took some regular old rubber stamps and put those on. Let me just find one. I'll just show you how I did that. I think I'll do this one here. So again, I'm going to use stays on ink. I'm just working with this design, which is just a little bit of cow parsley, and I'll just do that on there for now. Mind you, I have got a holder here, so let's use that. I'm just going to line that up and put a bit of ink on, which is really easy. And I love the fact that you've got these stamps. You could make maybe a photocopy of this, scan it in so that you could do this again, but remember, this would be for your own personal use, not for commercial use, because this is copyrighted. All Daphne's diary material is. And then where I've got a design like that, or maybe here where I don't have enough space to fit everything in, I am just going to place a little bit of card on that line, position my design where I'd like it to be, and then just press down, knowing that the bulk of it will actually not print on my design. And there I've got just the lovely car parsley going through. So this gives you the opportunity to create lots of lovely little stamps that you could actually just decorate yourself. And if you have got areas perhaps where you can colour, like they've got the little red Father Christmas there, you could actually colour your butterflies and things as well. Yeah, just lovely homes, different ways of decorating. Love the simplicity of this, just using a little bit of honesty and some berries. There is quite a nice pull out here. I haven't actually looked at this properly, but they've got a nice big colouring in page, which should keep you busy over the Christmas season if you've got nothing else to do. Wow, look at that. Maybe this will keep the kids busy while you're busy cooking. Or it will keep you busy. But there's plenty there for you to do. Loads and loads and loads. So that's a lovely thing to have for the holidays. And then we've got a couple of more pages before we come. Just some ideas of snacks that you can make. Lovely air drying clay with a little bit of flowers in and some stamping. And again, you can stamp into air dry clay with stays on ink and your little letter stamps, or any other stamps that have a bit of depth to them. There are a few pages with different designs in these circles to make a garland. I think I would probably just use them for other things, maybe gift tags, little inserts, or even perhaps a little tab on a page. And that is the Christmas edition of Daphne's Diary. The next one coming out on the 7th of January. And when we look at both covers together, that is it. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed seeing some of the projects, just sort of 3D, just to give you some idea of what they actually look like. And as I say, I haven't spent too much time on them, but I just had a little bit of fun making them up for you. And enjoy your Christmas. If you've enjoyed the video, please give me a like, thumbs up, consider subscribing, and please join me again for the next video. Bye for now.